The Taken, a powerful mysterious army commanded by Oryx, the Taken King, will be one of the opposing forces trying to extinguish Acolyte in September. Oryx wields the ability to control a twisted army of vile corruption. These new enemies have been completely consumed by the darkness, bodies and minds twisted into service of their king. He's granted them new and unique abilities and lets them fight for his cause, namely, his revenge on the guardians of the last safe city on Earth for killing his son Crota.
You took my son!
This video is part 1 of my Taken series, in which we take a closer look at the corrupted alien races in the upcoming Destiny expansion. In this first part, we will find out everything about the Taken Hive, their special abilities and how to counter them effectively. If you're interested in a certain type of enemy, use the timestamps in the description below. As a general disclaimer, everything mentioned in this video is speculation, subject to change and based on the Taken King footage released at E3 2015. All sources can be found in the description. Let's begin with some general points about the Taken. The idea of a unified and mind-controlled army has been around in concept art since before the original game launched back in September 2014. In this picture you can see the possessed Fallen and Cabal walking in unison through a forest, which has led to a lot of speculation in the past. While the Taken share the same character models with the 4 alien races in Destiny, Hive, Fallen, Cabal and Vex, their appearance, AI and abilities have been changed. They're engulfed in black flames, burning them from the inside, and share a jitter in their animations, giving them a tortured and unnatural look. In fact, their design looked like it's come straight out of an artist's nightmare. A common theme in the design of the Taken is the elemental nature of the attacks being switched around. Also, all enemies have gained rather unique and interesting new abilities. What I personally am excited about the most are the possibilities in mission and raid encounters. In vanilla Destiny, encounters were limited to enemies fighting within their race, or 2 enemy forces battling it out while guardians fight in the middle. In the Taken King, however, the encounter possibilities and enemy variety is much higher, helping to keep missions fresh and encourage new strategies, instead of apply Yellowhorn to target. There is no evidence of elemental shields among the Taken in the E3 footage. That does not rule them out though, as the enemies that have a shield in vanilla Destiny are not being damaged in the footage. The footage shows that some of these enemies have received new names. For example, Psions are being referred to as both Gremlins and Taken Psions. It seems like the names of the Taken are not yet final. Let's get to the breakdown of the actual enemies. The Taken Knight still wields his trusty boomer and can lay waste to a fire team or swordbearer very quickly. However, the E3 footage shows that some knights' weapon cores are purple instead of blue, indicating void damage. Here we can see him shooting a projectile out of void energy. The footage also shows them firing arc boomers, as seen here. Whether they will have both versions in the final release remains to be seen. I'm guessing it will only be void. In addition, Taken Knights wield arc shredders, as seen here for a few frames. The Taken Knight is able to perform a new special attack. He screams and spews out multiple solar projectiles in a wide angle, creating a low but persisting wall of fire on the ground. When a guardian comes into contact with this attack, he's debuffed with burning. This debuff deals damage over time and therefore prevents shield regeneration while it is active. The wall of fire is indicated on your HUD, similar to a grenade warning. You think regular Boomer Knights are annoying? Try Boomer Knights that shot off a corridor with their AoE solar attack and bombard you with boomer salvos, threatening you to fall back or to be debuffed by the fire. Deal with these enemies from as far away as you can. Don't let them surprise you, as their special attacks and projectiles do have significant range. When you spot a Taken Knight in a fight, keep in mind their special ability. Use the indicators on your HUD to your advantage. At first sight, the Taken Acolytes, also referred to as lurks in this footage, are not that much different from normal ones. Their shredders shoot arc-based projectiles instead of void, which is something to keep in mind when burns are active. However, while analyzing the footage, I noticed something odd that appeared whenever the lurks were present. Here you can see a small orb clearly engulfed in darkness among the Taken Acolytes. In a second clip, this orb is shooting arc projectiles and is quickly destroyed by the Warlock Super. It does not appear to be an enemy, but an ability. The Taken Acolytes or lurks might be able to deploy darkness-infused stationary turrets that fire arc projectiles at guardians in sight and have a decent fire rate. Acolytes just got way more deadly, with turrets increasing their firepower. They will become a major threat with arc burn. As with the knights, approach acolytes from a distance on higher difficulties if you can. It might be a better idea to lure them out of their positions and kill them one by one, instead of jumping into the middle of a group and getting destroyed by the fast firing turrets. The first thing you notice when taking a look at the Taken Wizard is the color of her claws. Instead of the blue claws you can see on the normal wizard, hers are orange, indicating an attack based on solar damage. Here's the Taken Wizard summoning an orange glowing ball of energy in her claws. The footage cuts just when it gets interesting, but I found another very short clip showing off her offensive capabilities. As you probably know, normal wizards summon balls of arc energy, surrounding each hand before they start their bombardment of arc projectiles, as you can see here. There's a small charge time to their attack. This is similar. A ranged solar attack performed with both hands instead of one, that has to be charged up first. The wizard creates a series of orange orbs that float in place for a split second before shooting as solar projectiles towards the player. Noteworthy is that this attack can be executed while the Taken Wizard is in movement. Normal wizards are easy targets when firing. The following clip intrigued me the most. This Taken Wizard throws up her arms and her head as if in prayer. As soon as her arms reach their peak, a Taken Thrall appears out of thin air, materializing right in front of her. I know what you're thinking, and the thought is terrifying. Taken Wizards are able to spawn Taken Thralls. In an encounter, Taken Wizards should be dealt with as soon as possible, as they just keep throwing Thralls at you. They are very elusive and can take cover quickly when damaged. With their new solar range attack, they are able to fire at you while evading, making them even tougher to deal with. I recommend high DPS weapons to get rid of them as soon as possible. When using a shotgun, mind the Thralls they are spawning, that can catch you off guard. But Thralls are pretty easy to deal with, right? Wrong. We will take a look at the Taken Thralls next. Taken Thralls, or skivers, as seen here, are pretty much Thralls on steroids. Let's start with the obvious. They still have their iconic melee attack. Their fangs glow orange, indicating solar damage instead of arc damage of normal Thralls attacks. They will still rush you down and melee you. However, their movement has changed. Bungie thought it would be a great idea to give Thralls the ability to blink or teleport on top of their normal movement. That means they can use the ability that makes the Vex so annoying to deal with. Taken Thralls can be spawned by Taken Witches, but are not limited to that. You will also encounter them normally in missions. It's a common theme by now, but engage with the enemy while being as far away as possible. Expect them to teleport towards you, or you will be caught off guard. In tight spaces, stand on elevated terrain so that the skivers cannot hit you. The Ogre in the E3 footage is Bax, Thane of Oryx. He's most likely part of a new strike. At this time, it is unknown whether his appearance is unique as a boss, or if all Taken Ogres share it. Bax has two attacks, the typical Eye Blast we know from normal Ogres, notice his attack is blue, or in other words arc-based instead of void-based, and a Ground Pound, dealing area of effect damage around him, also arc-based. We do not have sufficient footage of the Taken Ogre to warrant any conclusions to his special ability. The E3 footage has no signs of Taken Shriekers. We do not know if this enemy even exists in Taken form.